Shocked, you're right. I am back to doing this. What's up, everybody? Had to have the orange hat to match. Rep Virginia. Feel odd wearing this hat because it was a gift from somebody, but never have been a UVA fan. I have a lot of respect for the people in that city that I grew up in, Charlottesville, but always been all about that. But not talking about Miami today. A lot of headlines to get to. I just started doing. I've had some ideas come and go over the years, but I think this is one that will stick, at least with me. I like doing it a month in review podcast, and what I do is I jump on here and talk about the previous month, the biggest headlines that we had during it. And if you've never joined the show before, welcome to the POSTGAME podcast. Been a little bit since I did one of these, because I tried one in January, a month in review podcast it was in February, but reviewing January, and I didn't really think anything of it at the time. I just was like, I wanted to live stream because I had something to talk about that night, I remember, and just it's an idea that I like, and there was plenty to talk about in April. Oh my. Might be the biggest month of sports headlines this whole year, but definitely so far this year. I know that there were a couple things that were bigger than sports that I have to address them because they were headlines in April that involved athletes, but I don't have to, but I'm going to. And one of them, there are two that involve, needless to say, toxic relationships. I don't even know if you call it that. It's not my business, Shannon Sharp, what's going on with him. But, man, my dad was a fan of his in the 90s when he played for the Broncos. I liked him in the early 2000s when he played for the Ravens because, you growing up in that area, even though I was a Washington fan, I definitely had a soft spot for the Ravens because they are the other Beltway team, the other pro football team in that area. But those years were long ago, man. And Shannon Sharp, I began to like him less and less the more he talked. I mean, the more the Shannon Sharp would go in on people for this, for that, I was just like, that's great on the field, man, but just for the simple fact that it'll catch up to you. I don't care who you are, who you're talking about. Like they say, keep that same energy. He did, but it also comes with a price tag, and that price tag is now that he's in the hot seat, it's burning him hard. And you're going after a guy like Deshaun Watson. I mean, I just, how does it feel? I can't even imagine with Shannon Sharp, not to mention that young lady who we all know the 25 per cheek thing. It's or 25K, but I just, in that situation, man, you want to talk, you talk okay, but you have to also, as they say, walk that walk. And I mean, at that age, you have to know better, man. And he was throwing it in our faces. He was sitting there saying, I'm going for it unapologetically. I don't know. It's amazing how quickly we forget things today, but feels like I don't think it's right, but everybody's already back to talking about Diddy, in the news, and I don't know, man. I'm not proud of what you did if you did that, Shannon, but I'm gonna let it play out. And I never watched Club Shay Shay, honestly. I watched Nightcap a couple times. What's odd is right before that news came out, I think the first time I ever watched anything of Club Shay Shay, other than some of the Cat Williams clips, I haven't even listened to that full podcast, but I watched something with the Wayans brothers, and I was like, yeah, Shannon does better than I expect. In that, he did better than I expected in that format, because I just thought with sports and with Ocho, it worked better for him. And I was like, I don't know if Shannon can conduct long conversations with people, but it was good. And then, all these headlines start coming out, but again, I'm not a part of that relationship, so I wasn't there. I don't condone any of the behavior. If a lot of it is true, there's some things that we know are true, and I don't. I'm not going to give you a pass for that, needless to say. And then Bill Belichick. Oh my God. All I got to say is it's a great time to be a Bills fan, isn't it? You needed something like this to get you through a painful offseason, didn't you? I don't know what to say about that. I mean, he's not the first dude with some tread marks on the tires to have a young lady in his life, but this could just destroy his legacy, and I don't want to see that happen. I wasn't even a Patriots fan growing up, but I knew a lot about the Patriots because I have cousins who were from near Boston, and I don't know, that woman seems like she is not right for the man, but we'll see how that turns out, folks. I mean, what do you think about mixing? Because I don't believe you should be mixing business with pleasure, but yeah, her real estate business seems to be doing quite well since she met Billy. So yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is that I think he should date closer to his age, and it's your call if you want to bring your relationship or someone into your business endeavors. I don't think I'd be alone with that, but not much to say about the and I wonder if he's going to keep, if they're providing headlines, this couple throughout football season. Somebody made a very good point. It's that show, That's Good Sports. If UNC is winning, it's like the Cowboys in the 90s. They had, just train wreck after train wreck on that team, but they were winning. So people were looking the other way. If UNC is winning, it's going to be good. If they're not, expect it to be a dumpster fire with Bill trapped in the middle of the ring of fire. That's all I have to say about that. And, man, there was a lot of UFC news last month. Like, I don't even know where to start. I know that so the Garcia fight. Yeah, that was in May. But boxing really this year, I mean, there haven't been a ton of headlines. I know the whole Canelo opting to fight someone else over the problem child. That was definitely something that was getting some attention, but it's been the UFC's year so far between the two. And I mean, I'll start out with Paddy the Baddy. I mean, I think the dude's legit, and I didn't need a fight against Michael Chandler to have that, for that to prove that he's legit. No. But does Paddy realistically get a shot at the title? Going to be very interesting to see, right? Because if you know anything about the UFC, you know that it's interesting because Paddy and Ilya have kind of started, getting away from that, smoothing things out. It seems like with a couple articles I've read about things they've said, and shouldn't be, because that would be a massive fight. I think even if they didn't have beef, I'd still love to watch Ilya if he became the 155 champion fight against him and Ilya and Paddy. Oh, but who does Paddy fight next after such a dominant performance? I think you have to, go give him Armin. He's talked about him. I think he was one of the people that he called a sausage link. I can't even do the Scouser accent, but I would give, if I'm the UFC, I think let Charles and Ilya happen first, and then I would see where you go from there, because right now, might be unpopular opinion, but I would take Paddy over Charles. I don't know why. I just feel like that wouldn't go well for Charles. But if Charles beats Ilya, I think I might be eating a lot of humble pie. But I feel like that would go Paddy's way. I don't know why. Just, you have a feeling sometimes. And I didn't feel good with Charles going into the Islam fight. I just felt like the energy was off, and it's strange, but there was a big fight a couple weeks ago for a belt in the UFC. As you know, Jack Della took the 170 strap home, took it off Bilal, and I remember thinking when Bilal was walking into the cage, like, is it just me, or does he feel like a little uneasy? Or does he look a little uneasy? It felt like he did to me, but what does that really matter? And, who got in there in the game plan, he went against it. I mean, he just said that himself, but that's going to be interesting to see, right? Because, if Islam jumps up and beats Jack Della, who does he fight next? I know if Usman beats Buckley, he's not going to fight Usman. But if Buckley wins, does that happen? Or does, Buckley win and fight Ian Gary, who looked damn good against guy he just beat in Kansas City? I am blanking so hard. But the point being, some big thunder. I don't know. I feel like that it's going to be, you have to see how the Buckley-Usman fight plays out, and then I think they should start to negotiate with Ian Gary on that basis. Michael Morales, we just won the other night, but a lot of this talk about how 170 and 155 is going to shape up over the summer. It did start last month with Ian Garry winning and looking pretty good that whole fight. I mean, other than the 5th round. And I mean, he had other moments in the fight where he didn't look weak, but was a little off. But he got the job done. I think if you're Ian Garry, I would go for the Buckley fight, and then I think you have to say, I mean, Shavkat, is he guaranteed to fight the winner of? I think that's what's going to happen. I think Shavkat's going to fight the winner of Jack Della and Islam, because the UFC loves that. So they're going to have the super fight with Australia and Dagestan, and then we'll see what happens. I see it going down like this. Jack Della wins, fights Shavkat, and man, that's a tough one to call, but I don't think Shavkat's going to let Jack Della move around as much as he did in the Bilal fight. So I got to go with, I'm going to say Shavkat by decision, and Buckley and Garry fight. And I mean, a lot of people are saying Sean Brady and Shavkat too, but not too, like, as an idea, Sean Brady and Shavkat fighting each other. It's an interesting one, isn't it? But I think, honestly, at this point, you could make an argument that Sean Brady and Bilal has to happen again. Maybe that's just me in my head, my argument. I think that would go differently this time, and I think Sean Brady would win. And how does he fit into this? I mean, even Leon, I know he's been on a skid, but does Leon's loss to Bilal, does Bilal winning that not mean as much now? I mean, was it just that the stars lined up right for Bilal that night, but he was never really, I don't want to say not meant to be champion, but does it not mean as much now, and Bilal is never going to touch the belt again? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with 155 and 170, folks. This is not even mentioning Amzad and DDP. Of course, the Rubber Duck and Tom Aspinall fighting each other. Man, it's a good time to be a UFC fan. Not a fan of the UFC, but of the fighters. But we'll see, folks. And also plenty of good hockey. I mean, I wasn't convinced until last night that the Panthers are going to win it all, but the way they handled themselves, beating the Leafs in 7 games, and the domination that's happened against the Hurricanes, especially recently, I say it's a wrap. I think that it's going to be, at this point, I'm taking the Stars. It's hard to pick against the Stars because I've seen how much work they've put in personally. I went to a game. The last NHL game I went to was with the Dallas Stars, and just the energy those fans have. I know they've put a lot of work into this team, but I have a feeling, once again, with Edmonton, I'm feeling them, and just the way they've looked, very, very physical in this series. They're resilient. I see it being Edmonton and Florida in the Cup, and I think that one I want to say 6 games, but I mean, could Florida even end it earlier? I don't know, folks. It's a very exciting time for hockey fans. I'm definitely. It sucked to see the Caps go down, but I mean, I'm living in Florida now. I'm happy for the Panthers because this team has really played second fiddle to the Lightning for a long time, and Tampa Bay area now has some stiff competition for King of the State, especially if the Panthers repeat. Because, God, I couldn't even tell you the last time a hockey team repeated as champions. Has there been one in the last? I don't think there's been one since 2010, and I don't know if there was one in the 2000s, but I definitely think Florida is on track for that. But that's just what yours truly thinks. If you have anything that you want to throw into the comments when this video posts that I did not cover, give me your opinion on something. I'm open to it, guys. Love doing these. Best believe I'll be doing another month of review pod. How about next month? That sounds good for May. I'm sticking with next month. I think I'm going to be sitting here talking about the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. It's going to be exciting to watch, guys. It's some physical hockey that Florida plays and the depth they have. I don't know. This could be a team that is around for years to come. I wonder if they could become a dynasty. I mean, who even knows, folks? But yes, send me ideas if you have them. Make sure to comment below. I think that is all that I have for you today. There's definitely some college baseball that I'll be getting to actually next week. Going to be doing week 1, the College World Series in review. I know that the SEC is just, man, they're pimp walking into the tournaments, and it's into the tournament, I should say. They're now this tournament is, it has 8 teams from the SEC. Jesus, man. Florida looked damn good at the end of the year. They really did. Taking 2 of 3 from Alabama, beating Texas, getting to 500 in the SEC when they started out. What was it, 1-11, something like that. I can't wait to see how it shakes out, guys. I mean, Florida State. There's a lot of teams that are. I mean, they have Florida has the depth at pitcher, but they proved that they also have depth in other areas. That game against Alabama last Thursday, when they had, one of their starters gets hurt and they go in and they're down by 5 runs and come back. It's just. But I will be, doing a week 1 wrap-up show for college. Well, the beginning of the College World Series, but the conference tournaments wrapping up. In fact, I'm getting off here and I'm going to check the scores for that. But yeah, because the Miami Hurricanes are not in it anymore, losing to Cal. I mean, I have to go with the Gators because they're an hour away from me. I guess so. We'll see how it shakes out, but I don't know who to pick in that tournament. I'm definitely not going Florida State because I just told you. Literally told you. But guys, hope you have an amazing Memorial Day. Thank you to everybody who's ever made that sacrifice in the military, of course. I'm not going to make that speech that everybody always makes. Thank you so much. Really, I'm sitting here because of you. Thank you for that. And also, I hope people are getting a much needed break tomorrow and enjoy the game coming on in about 20 minutes. I believe the Stars and the Oilers about to kick off at 3 or just after. So whatever you're doing, just be safe. Get high and fly. Don't drink and drive. Lord loves a working man. See a doctor, get rid of him. Frozen face.